2, and now. We're live now. Hello, ISO 45001 2018 Occupational Health and Safety Management System Specification, 10 most common questions. That's what we're covering in this live stream here at Best Practice. Welcome back to episode 3 of our Ask Best Practice series, where we're covering the most common questions of the topics that we cover here at Best Practice and giving you an opportunity to jump on live and ask me questions around your projects. So if you have got a project where you are implementing this management system, then let me get the questions right. Have you got what you need? Yes, that's last week's questions. Okay, we're getting into it. For those of you that have just joined us, it's always really exciting for me to see where you are around the world. So let me know the city or town or state or province that you're watching from. Where are you in the world? And also give your organization a shout out. You guys that watch these videos are all on the same development journey where you are investigating and trying to figure out what you need to do for your occupational health and safety management system. In this one, I hope I said the right number. We're talking about ISO 45001. It's all about occupational health and safety. And we're going to talk about the 10 most common questions globally that you guys would be asking. You will get to see these videos splintered off on our YouTube channel, but this is the live stream. This is where you get to ask the questions. I've got Bella here in the studio. I've got Luke and I've got Cam. Everybody's helping me. We are live right now, as always, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And so that is always an opportunity for you guys to look out. If you are watching this after the recording, look out for where we are live weekly so that you can jump on and you can see the behind the scenes. You can see all the crazy things we're doing here at Best Practice. I have a cup of black tea right here with me. I'm here for you guys. It's pretty relaxed. It's going to be pretty casual. Good morning, Subis. Welcome. I hope you're getting onto that project that I set for you last night. Good to have you connecting with me on LinkedIn. Hey, Faith, I can see you there on YouTube. I feel like play school. Hello, Faith. Hello, Subis. As I look through my little window, I can see you guys live there. So welcome. She's coming in. Faith's coming in from Newcastle. I seem to have lost my iPhone this morning. It's been put down somewhere, so you can't text me in this live stream. Someone will go find it for me. I don't need it. It's all good. But if you have got questions, please ask. So for those of you watching live on LinkedIn, I'm here to talk to you guys about occupational health and safety and those 10 most common questions. If you've got specific questions, I'm here for you guys. This is the weekly live stream, and let's get into it. Okay, so Bella has got the 10 most common questions for me. I'll just quickly point out, this is a copy of ISO 45001. We sell hard copies here at Best Practice on our online store. We can't sell soft copies, but we can sell hard copies. We sell them to you at cost. So we buy them in bulk and then we sell them to you guys at cost. So you can get them on our online store. Go to bestpractice.biz/services and go to the online training academy. And in that online store where we sell all our online courses, you can purchase yourself a copy of ISO 45001 at cost, and we'll post that out to you. Got this lovely cover on it. So what I'm going to be talking about today, if you've got specific clause questions from this standard, at any time, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. So if you are watching this after the recording and you have got a specific question about a clause, I can answer it. Comment below the video or comment beside the video. I come back to the comments on the videos and I answer them. So even if you are a long time after the recording, YouTube gives me a fantastic facility, which is an inbox of all of the comments, and I go through and read all of the comments. So if you have got a question about a specific clause on ISO 45001, how to implement it, what to do, what do auditors look for, how to get certified, what should you do on your project, let me know. Ashley, good to have you on board. As always, I hope life is good for you over at ProTech in Kings Park. I hope all is going well. Say hi to the team for me. I hope, Ashley, you are by far one of our best students along with Stan Wall. So thanks for you guys for regularly being here. I hope this is going to be helpful for you. And I hope you pick something up that you can implement. So, there's Stan. He's just popped up on LinkedIn. So we've got Stan on LinkedIn and Ashley over there on YouTube. So two of our top students here at the Best Practice, Ask Best Practice Training Academy, episode number 3. Okay, we will be talking about cybersecurity tomorrow. So if your organization has not even thought about cybersecurity or ISO 27001, it is a very topical issue right now. I'm going to be talking about the 10 most common questions on that side of risk management tomorrow. And then we're going to get back into some more sales and marketing kind of content as we get to episode 6, 7, 8 over the next couple of weeks. Bella, first question.
replace AS 4801?
Okay, yes. So the question is, does ISO 45001 replace an Australian standard 4801? And the answer to that question is yes, it does. So AS 4801 is not going to get updated. It has been superseded by ISO 45001. However, there's one small disclaimer, and this is a very local to Australia question. There will still be some legacy legislation that is going to take a little while to change. And so we're going to run both those standards side by side. But if you have AS 4801 certification or an AS 4801 management system, it's really about doing a simple gap analysis for yourself, working out what changes you need to make. And it's probably an upcoming question, and I'm getting ahead of myself. But yes, over the next 24 months, it will replace AS 4801 2001.
What is the difference between OHSAS 8001 and ISO 45001?
Okay, so there has been an international push, I guess, for occupational health and safety management systems for about 20 years. And a standard was developed called OHSAS 18001 or 18001. And that was the Occupational Health and Safety Assessment System or Assessment Scheme. And ISO 45001 is now a new international standard. Question is, does it replace it? Yes, it does. So ISO 45001 is now the international global benchmark for an occupational health and safety management system for your organization. So it sets up the framework for the policies and procedures around occupational health and safety in your organization, and it also makes sure that everybody who's following that standard globally is compared and is the same. So I think it's really good. It's a great international standard. So it's sort of cleaning up the industry. It's pulling back the Australian standard 4801. It's pulling in 18001, and it's giving us one global benchmark for an occupational health and safety management or risk management framework. Next question.
So what does ISO 45001 certified mean?
So what does ISO 45001 certified mean? Over here on beside me, we've got our ISO 45001 logo, which is if you get certified, and the question is, what does certified mean? If you get certified, you can use that logo and you can promote it. That is the international mark for ISO 45001 best practice around the world. So that is the mark. So if you get ISO 45001 certified with us, that is the mark that you can use, and you can use that anywhere in the world. This is the only place you can come to get the best practice ISO 45001 certification. That's the best practice 45001 certification. Now, what does certified mean? By being certified or having certification, it means that you have established an occupational health and safety management system, that you've implemented that management system, and that you're maintaining and improving that management system, and it is driving and controlling your occupational health and safety performance. What happens is an independent person, like one of the best practice assessors from this team, comes in and does an assessment and says, show me how you follow the intent of the standard, show me how you use your system, and show me how you are improving, and show me what you've been working on. And if they are confident that you have a system in place that is deliberate practice, deliberate work around managing OH&S, then they will certify you, and you can display that mark. And it means you can tell your stakeholders, your customers, your community, your staff that you've got a system in place, which I think is a good thing to do, and it's good for business. Next question.
What is the purpose of ISO 45001?
The purpose of ISO 45001, which I will read straight from the standard because it's quite a good definition. Let me just get into the objective of this standard is to specify the requirements of occupational health and safety management system. It helps to get conformance with the standard. Conformance with the standard may not mean that you meet all your legal requirements. But let me just quickly add to that and say that an organisation is responsible for occupational health and safety of workers and others who can be affected by its activities. This responsibility includes promoting and protecting their physical and mental health. The adoption of ISO 45001 and a management system is intended to enable an organisation to provide safe and healthy workplaces, keep working towards safe and healthy workplaces as things change, prevent work-related injury and ill health, and continually improve your OH&S performance. So when you look at the best practice logo, it's a performance over time graph. So it's about looking at an area and focusing on that area and looking to what you can do to improve that area, setting some goals, and then measuring your improvements and measuring your performance improvement over time. So in theory, you get better in that area. The management system can control that performance so that you can benchmark it and keep it on a plateau and then go and work on improving another part of the business. So it's a really great framework that helps you manage workplace health and safety. Next question.
What are the steps to getting ISO 45001 certified?
Okay, we've got a really simple question here, Wiz. What are the steps to getting ISO 45001 certified? Step number one is to get yourself a copy of the standard and read the standard and try and understand it. Step two would be to do a ISO 45001 training course on our online training academy. You can purchase that online here. Step three would be to start to figure out what the gaps are, or doing a little bit of gap analysis in your organization. You can download a free gap analysis from Best Practice and from our website. Step four, once you have that gap analysis completed, would be to come and do some of these live streams. If you're not sure and if you've got questions, you come and join me on a live stream. You ask me questions so I can help you with your project. We do that obviously free every week. Step five would be implementing any of the missing parts of your health and safety management system. Step six, once you're confident you've got a system in place and it's working, is coming to Best Practice for a proposal. We will come out and do a 2-stage process with you, which will be to look at your management system and see if you've got any gaps still, which will be an external set of eyes. And then if you don't have any gaps, if you do have gaps, we'll tell you there's gaps and you can go and fix those things. You can come back to a live stream and I'll help you fix those things in this public forum. You can then go and do your second stage, fill your gaps, do your second stage, and invite one of the best practice assessors in to do the certification assessment, which we would call a stage 2. Pending successful completion of that process, they'll recommend you for approval. We'll issue you with a certificate that says that your company is certified or your organization is certified. Then you can put this beautiful best practice logo on your website, your business cards. You can send the certificate out to your customers. You can promote internally that you have a system in place and that you're working to improve workplace performance. I know that was a long-winded answer, but that's the methodical steps. So if you haven't got a copy of the standard, get that. If you haven't done the ISO 45001 training course on the Best Practice Training Academy, purchase yourself that course, and you can self-pace yourself through that online course. Then come back to these live streams and I'll help you get through any challenges you've got. Then make application. So you can call one of our great business development team at Best Practice if you would like to know the specific cost for your organization to get certified. I know that's an upcoming question, but you can contact one of our business development team. You can do that online. There's actually an online calculator that gives you a full proposal, monthly proposal for all the certifications, but you can talk to one of our teams specifically about OH&S.
What are the elements of ISO 45001?
Okay, elements. So there's sections to ISO 45001 as there are to lots of the other standards. So we have got a contents page. I'm just going to read through that. Each of the international management standards now for customer service, quality assurance, environmental management, we talked about those last week. This one, occupational health and safety, cybersecurity, they're all generically referred to as risk management systems. They're all now following the same format. So they're following a thing called Annex SL, if you want some technical terminology. So they follow the same format so that you can really easily integrate them together, and they can attach to the back of your business plan as the methodology to implement and manage and implement your controls for your risks so that you deliver your business objectives. Okay, what are the sections? The sections are 1 through 10. We talk about scope, we talk about references, we talk about terms and definitions. Context of the organization, it's about establishing what part of the organization you're going to apply this management system to. It talks about leadership and worker participation. We want to get top management involved and leadership commitment and what policies we need to set. Then we do planning, support, operation, performance evaluation. So once we've identified some of the issues we need to manage, we can put controls in place, and we can come back and do monitoring and measurement. And then the final part of the standard is all about improvement. So it follows that cycle of continual improvement: plan, do, check, and act. That's your way round. Plan, do, check, act, that cycle of continual improvement. And you can see that there in the standard. So the sections of the standard are 1 through 10, scope, references, terms and definitions, set the context of the organization, get leadership and worker participation, establish your planning processes, work out what support and resources you need in the form of resources, competence, awareness, communication, documented information in section 7. 8 is operation. That's implementing the controls and actually doing things to manage safety. Performance evaluation, which is seeing whether the things you do are effective and seeing how you're tracking, monitoring your performance. And then the final step is the improvement processes, which should be part of any successful business plan anyway. What's your quarterly strategic planning? you need to do quarterly strategic planning for safety, and you need to attach to that to all of the business planning processes and make sure those two things are integrated. That's the number one mistake that I see people making, is that safety sits apart from finance and it's not included in the strategic business planning for the organisation. So that's your first opportunity for improvement. Next question, Bella.
What is the cost of ISO 45001?
The cost of ISO 45001 is, I say this often, how long is a piece of string? It's variable for the size of your organisation and the kinds of risks that you're managing. If you're an organisation that's got, like, highly technical industrial risks, because you're an industrial organisation versus, say, an office or a studio environment like this, you're going to have different levels of risk and different consequences of having accidents and incidents. And so when we work out the cost of ISO 45001, we factor in the industry that you're in, we factor in the size of your organisation, and we factor in the complexity of your organisation, and then we can give you a cost. So the cost is going to be variable, but let me give you some examples. A small case study for an organisation that maybe has 5 to 10 people. You're in construction, you do a little bit of domestic construction, a little bit of commercial construction. Maybe you've got between sort of 5 and 10 people. You might have some contractors come and go from your sites. Then an ISO 45001 certification might cost you around about, 12 to 15,000 US dollars, and that's probably going to be more expensive. It may be a little bit cheaper than that, and somewhere between 5 and 10,000 US dollars per year to maintain. Obviously different currencies from different audiences that watch us here, but that is giving you an estimation for that kind of organization and what it's going to cost you to implement it. Then it goes up from there. Recently did a proposal for an ISO 45001 client, had 10,000 staff, and it was just short of $100,000 for their certification, and it's going to be roughly about $50,000 in fees per year to maintain it. That doesn't include the costs on your side, your staff, your implementation, your training, your communication. So it's really about thinking about the investment, what's going to be the return on your investment. Worker safety is an absolutely positive return on this investment, but also are there any sales or business development opportunities? So because you have that certification, can you use it to win more customers? Are there specific customers that like that you've got that certification and they'll choose you over somebody else? So we want to be looking at all the opportunities. So there's the cost, but then there's also the upside. We want to be looking at that. To get a very specific cost, you can go onto our online calculator. It's available at bestpractice.biz, and you can jump on that calculator, put in your organization's details and some criteria. It will email you a figure. You can alternatively reach out to one of the sales team here at Best Practice. Go to bestpractice.biz, bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You can click on live chat, and one of our team here, I can see them outside the studio, can help you get a very specific cost and estimate for the investment in your organization. Okay, next question.
How many clauses are there in ISO 45001?
There's clauses. There's 10 main sections to the standard. So there's 10, I would say 10 clauses, and then there are subparts to those clauses. So there's 10 parts to ISO 45001, but realistically, it doesn't start till section 4. So you've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've actually got 7 clauses that are operational parts of the standard. Is that it? No, we've got one more? A couple more? One more. All right.
Last one. Who needs ISO 45001 certification?
The question is, who needs ISO 45001 certification? I would say everybody. But all jokes aside, organizations who have a strategic objective, maybe you're considering triple bottom line reporting, maybe you are considering being a good corporate citizen, maybe you're an organization that your customers are asking you, what sort of safety management systems do you have in place? Maybe your customers are asking you to do dangerous work. And so they're saying to you, hey, we're asking you to do some dangerous work. We're going to outsource it. You're the best in breed in terms of doing that dangerous work. We want you to have a safety management system in place. And we will only engage suppliers that have a safety management system in place that is externally certified and that it follows ISO 45001. So if you're an organization that falls into any of those categories, if you're an organization that really wants a strategic framework to improve, like maintain and improve workplace safety or manage high-risk industries or high-risk work, then also having ISO 45001 and a management system in place would be important. So what we haven't talked about so far is whether you should get certified or not. I think having a management system in place and implementing it, like having a strategic framework to manage these risks, is important. But we do need to do a very intelligent analysis to say, well, if you're going to go and get externally certified and go for the test, is there what other benefits are there in doing that? And that's part of what my strategy is here with you coming on and watching these videos, is that you can really think very intently and very clearly about what the benefits are for your organization, and then focus on making sure you get those benefits. And that's the one thing that I'm most passionate about, is making sure that if there's potentially a benefit for you in doing some work like this and maybe coming to best practice and getting certified or doing one of our online training courses, I want to help you and I want to make sure you get that benefit. So the more that you can let us know that you've got a specific benefit that you're chasing from doing this, then the more we can focus on making sure you get that and you hit that goal. And that's really important to me. Thanks, Bella. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Cam, Bella, any questions? Have any questions come up from you guys? No? Okay. Let me have a quick look. Hey, Kim on the Northern Beaches. We're on the Northern Beaches, so you're just down the road. Hey, Andrew from Canberra. Good to have you guys on this morning. Who else is left on? We've got a few people on LinkedIn. So anybody watching on LinkedIn, it's really easy. If you are watching on LinkedIn, maybe just comment hi on the LinkedIn comments. I can see there's about 7 people online on LinkedIn. And you guys on YouTube, if you are able to comment. Kim, we're looking for some clarity around 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. I can do that. Easy. Let me have a quick look at that. Okay, so Kim's asking about clauses 8.1, 8.2, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. Okay, so section 8 of the standard, Kim, is Kim, if you wouldn't mind commenting on YouTube what industry you're in, that would be really helpful. Then I can give you some very specific examples. That's going to take a little while because I think there's a delay. So I'll just wait for you to let me know your industry, Kim. Section 8 of the standard, specifically 8.123, is about operations. It's about once we've identified our risk register. So what are the things that could go wrong? What are the risks that we've got? Then what we're doing in section 8 is it's encouraging us to come up with some controls for that, specifically around contracts, estimation, and project management. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that's construction. So contracts, estimation, and project management. So you guys are a project management company, I'm guessing, in construction. Yeah, excellent. So what you guys are doing is say for example, you might do a project risk register around your risks for your team specifically and your specific contractors. So how could people hurt themselves, either physically or mentally, in doing the work that you guys are going to do? So obviously, initially, there's going to be very little risk for you guys because you're a predominantly office-based environment and managing construction subcontract packages. So what we need to do, we have an obligation or we have a duty of care with the legislation to ensure that the contractors that we are going to be letting those subcontract packages to have adequately identified their risks. Now, you guys are not specialists in their trade. So what you want to be doing is you want to be hoping that they might submit a safety management plan and maybe some safe work methods statements or JSEAs with their subcontract application or with their package. And then you want to be trying to look at that and say, okay, have they thought about their work methodology and are they thinking about safer options? So your obligation in terms of actually planning projects, doing estimation and doing project management is to be talking to the architects, the engineers, the sub-consultants on the project. Now, they may have been engaged by the client. And then also talking to the subcontractors about their packages, about safer methods of work. I'll give you an example. I'm about to build a 7-bedroom development. So I do a little bit of development on the side myself. That 7-bedroom development, it's a house. It's this freestanding house on the Northern Beaches. It's actually on quite a steep hill. It's going to have a 12-meter excavation on that project. So we're thinking about safety and design and the construction methodology. How can we safely dig that really deep hole so that people don't hurt themselves? And so we're really thinking about the excavators that we're going to use on that project so that we minimize any manual interaction. And we're also, for some of the work, we're thinking about whether we can use a remote control excavator. So we're not putting anybody in harm's way. We can put a machine in harm's way and the machine might fall off the cliff or get hurt, but there's no one actually using or driving that machine. So we're trying to eliminate a hazard. So in looking at section 8, operational planning and control, the organization needs to plan and implement control processes needed to meet requirements of this, which is essentially what are people doing, when are they doing it, how are they doing it, what are they implementing to control any risks we've identified. In section 8.1.2, we're talking about how can we use the hierarchy of control to eliminate risks. So maybe we put up a sign and say, hey, there's a big cliff, don't fall over the edge. It'd be far better if we eliminated the need for anybody to go near that edge. And so instead of having a sign, we would have an elimination strategy. That's 8.1. So we're starting to think about how we can control our risks. When we move over to, let me get to 8.2, and I hope I'm in the right section here because I'm not seeing 8.3, emergency preparedness and response. That is basically starting to think about the who, what, when, where, how, why of ISO 45001. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. So I hope that's helped you. Excuse me for one moment. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Too much talking. Okay, I'll battle on. Okay, so 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. I hope that's helped. Okay, I've completely lost it. Can someone get me some water? Okay. So what we're doing in that section of the standard is we are working on our controls. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's gone. I've lost it. Okay, excuse me. So that is the doing part of the standard. That's the implementation part of the standard, so that we can go through and that's where we implement our controls. In a safe work method statement, it's the controls column. That is section 8.1 and then obviously 8.2. 8.2 is really about when the control fails, what do? We go into emergency mode. We go into emergency preparedness. So when we're starting to think about that, if they say we're going to wear PPE, we're going to wear steel cap boots, we're going to wear safety vests, we're going to put controls in place, we're going to train people, what happens when that fails? So emergency preparedness is about saying, okay, well, if something collapses, if something catches fire, if there is an issue, if somebody cuts their leg off, if someone gets squashed, if someone dies, what are we going to do about that? Doing some drills, doing some practice, and then obviously working out how we're going to respond. And then obviously when an emergency happens, do some response. Kim, because you're on the Northern Beaches, I want to give you a really good example with children. On the Northern Beaches, the reason why we spend so much time teaching children to swim is because there's so much water around. So if a child falls in the water, they can swim. It's very different to many other parts of the world. We put a lot of effort because there's swimming pools everywhere, there's beaches everywhere, there's rivers everywhere, and so kids can fall in the water. So emergency preparedness is teaching kids to swim. So if they fall in the water, like if my 9-year-old falls in the water, he'll probably get a shock and cry, but he's not going to drown because he can swim. So that's our emergency preparedness. And if you can think about that with construction and think about that with your contractors, you can say to your contractors, hey, you guys are going to do some risky work. What happens if it all goes wrong? What are you going to do? Where's the local medical center? Literally last night, I was lying in bed thinking, where is the local medical center right now? What are the kinds of injuries that can happen in our factory? So in the other part of our business here, we have a sheet metalwork factory. We haven't had an accident for a while. Because we haven't had an accident for a while, I'm going to go through the factory today and I'm just going to check on everybody's diligence and work out if anybody's getting complacent and just put another push on safety. And I'm doing that because we haven't had an accident. I'm not going to wait for an accident. I'm going to reset everybody. Where is the medical center? What are we going to do if we have an accident? Are there any hazards and risks emerging? Is anybody getting complacent? And I'm doing that today. And my indicator is we've had a long period without an accident. And so I'm like, right, I'm going to get on the front foot with safety today so we can have another long period with no accidents. And that is preventative measures. That's emergency preparedness. Okay. Excellent. Any other questions? Kim, I hope that helped. It really helps me when you guys get on and make comments with specific questions, and you can see how I'm helping Kim. So it's really up to you guys to get on and dominate the comments, really ask me questions, because I can give you very specific examples and help you guys with specific issues you've got. Hey, Andrew in Canberra, and who else? We've got Dennis there. Excellent. I appreciate that, Dennis. Yeah, there's a great course that you can purchase there. Go to bestpractice.biz/services, and you can click through to the online training academy. There's obviously lots of free webinars like this that I do. There's some 45,001 webinars. They're a couple of years old, but they're still relevant, that are available on the YouTube channel. So if you go back on the YouTube channel, go to playlist, there's some great webinars there. There's that online course on 45,001. And obviously we sell certification too, so we can certify you. So any of you guys who haven't yet got certification and want to go for it, we can help you with that. Hey, Tom on LinkedIn, good to see you come online today. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So good to have you guys. Hey, Reggie on LinkedIn there. Hope life's good for you over at Tesla. I haven't heard from you guys for a while. So hey, Graham on LinkedIn, thanks for joining us. So yeah, good to have you guys all come on today. I hope everything's been helpful. So we have just recorded the 10 most common questions around ISO 45001. Luke and Cam are actually going to spend some time through the rest of the week actually editing up those questions for you. They're going to splinter them off and put separate YouTube videos up for the answers to each of those questions. So if they do come up in your office, you can send that short video. You can share that short video from the YouTube channel around your company. Vanessa, under the best practice username, has just posted a link to the online training in the comments on YouTube. That's going to help you guys. So if you want to look there in the comments. Lightwave user, can the internal audit plan be a few sentences describing when and who will perform the internal audit? Absolutely. It talks about that internal audits shall be planned. I like to see, so for Lightwave 1, the user there on YouTube, I like to see peer reviews. So I like to see people in a partnership working with each other. And so if you said that on a monthly basis, two key people will get together and review a component of the safety management system, and really it comes down to how good your auditor is that you're working with. That would be adequate for me, because I want to see it in place. I want to see it in place. It's one thing to write down your plan, but it's the second thing to see it implemented. So a lot of people say, yeah, okay, that's fine, you can write that down, but make sure you're delivering. So make sure you've got the evidence backing it up. And so what I'd like to see is breaking down components of your safety management system, or breaking down components of your business, and going through and saying, actually, we're going to review, if I go back to Kim's business, we're going to review estimating. We're going to review safety management and the standard in estimating. Then there's different estimators, then there's different project managers, then there's different site completion, there's different people out on site, and we're going to do that on a monthly basis. So that's where I want to encourage you guys to have maybe a breakdown of the business, and then doing a little bit each month. And an internal audit, if you're just starting out and you're just in a smaller organization, it's just 20 minutes doing some preparation, 20 minutes asking questions and going and doing a bit of an observation of how the business is implementing safety management, and then 20 minutes writing up a little bit of a report. And I talk about that in lots of our internal audit webinars. I will do an episode of this on internal auditing. It's always a really popular topic here at Best Practice on our YouTube channel. So I will do an episode of Ask Best Practice on internal auditing. We haven't done that for ages. I know you guys love that topic, so I'll explain that in more depth. But let me just quickly talk about what the standard requires. The organization shall conduct internal audits at planned intervals to provide information on whether OH&S management conforms to your own requirements, the objectives of this standard, and it's effectively implemented and maintained. So really what you want to be doing is saying, are we implementing a safety management system and controlling safety in all parts of our business? So your little audit plan is just to divide up the business into parts and say, we're going to do a little bit each month, not bite off too much. If we miss a month, that's okay. We'll come back to the plan on the next month, and off we go. Vanessa has just posted the link on YouTube. On LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, in the comments, there's a link now to the ISO 45001 Essentials training course. If you want to click that link to go and check out that course. We take you clause by clause through the standard and explain what to focus on, what to do. You can get your free checklist if you haven't already got that. I know a lot of people have already downloaded that. We've got 14,000 people now in the online training system. It's so exciting to see that growing really quickly. Everybody's getting their checklists, doing different training courses. If you are a client, if you are a certification client of best practice, then reach out to one of the team in the operations team here at Best Practice, and they can set you up with your courses in the training academy. They come included with your certification. There's a small set of courses that come included complimentary with your certification when you get certified with Best Practice, and you can have as many of your staff do that course as you want. So anyone who is already like a certification client of Best Practice, you can get access to all those courses in that little package. It comes with your certification, helps you implement. Okay, any other questions? The person with the handle Lightwave1, what's the name of your organization? And I can look into that. Watching from Boston. Awesome. Oh, okay, right. So excellent. So you're watching from Boston. You're going to do 45,001. I'm guessing we're not doing that for you, but if you want us to look at it, we can. All of our, and I guess it's getting cold in Boston too. We're coming into summer. So actually, and it's quite late in the evening in Boston, I think. So in the afternoon for you guys. So early evening, must be about dinner time in Boston. So for you guys. So for those of you guys watching from around the world, due to this pandemic, we're doing all of our audits online on systems like a secure version of Zoom or Google Meet. So if you do want Best Practice to do your certification for you, we can do that for you from anywhere in the world. We just work out what time we need to work. We can do that assessment, do it all remotely. So the certification industry at the moment is working remotely. It will go back to some on-site auditing in late 2021 as international travel starts back up. But we have approval to do all of the certification process remotely via virtual meetings. And so you can engage Best Practice anywhere in the world. And in fact, we do have a serviced office in Boston, and we have a serviced office in New York. So if you do want us to help you in North America, we can definitely help with that. Again, the team here at Best Practice can help you investigate that and see whether there's a match for your organization. I had a great session for the guys in North America yesterday. I had a great session with a client in Alabama and Washington, D.C. So there was 3 of us on the call, me in Sydney, someone in Alabama, and someone in Washington, D.C. So we are growing quite quickly in North America, and I guess you guys are all loving what we're doing. Alexi, thank you very much for joining us. I hope this has been helpful for you. Alexi is one of our team members here at Best Practice who helps write our news feed. So if you haven't checked it out already, I'm loving what's coming out on the news feed. If you go to bestpractice.biz, very first tab is the news feed. Most days there's 3 brand new news articles on what's happening globally sitting there on our news feed and our video feed. So as the videos come up, which you guys are seeing most of those going up on the Best Practice site, but it's our goal that bestpractice.biz is that news feed for you, so you can check in on what's going on. We're doing trending search. We're seeing what's trending, what needs to be talked about, and doing some commentary on it. So if you do get the opportunity, check in at bestpractice.biz. Try and do it a couple of times a week and just scroll through those articles. But last week we did 20 articles on the news feed, so it's our version of a newspaper, if you like, sitting there on the bestpractice.biz website, and I hope it's helpful. So if there is anything you guys want us to comment on or talk about or investigate or research, we can get Alexi onto it. So I hope that helps. How do we go for time? 45 minutes, and I got my voice back. Okay, Faith, question. Just checked out the IMS Physical Standard Bundle, which is an excellent package. Thank you very much, Faith. I appreciate that. So Vanessa will be excited. So there's a bundle package there that because we can't sell the soft copy, that's tied up in a monopoly of PDF downloads with a couple of companies, but we do buy bulk copies of these, and we do bundle deals, and we'll send them out to you guys. So if you do want bundle deals of the standard, if you haven't got hard copies of the ISO standards, they are the same worldwide, so you can buy them here, and we have international shipping literally straight across on the other side of the road here from our office. We walk straight across to the post distribution center. We lodge the international shipping over there, and it can go straight to you anywhere in the world. So we can help you with that. So if you guys want to buy hard copies from us, you get this beautiful little Best Practice cover, and that's your hard copy of the standard. It's lovely. What you do with it after you receive it, in terms of copying it, scanning it, that's totally up to you. But we can help you with that. Okay, so good to have everybody on board today. I hope that's been helpful. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing the top 10 questions on cybersecurity and ISO 27001 management systems. I hope you can join us for that. I'm in this top 10 questions mode at the moment as we come up. This has been episode 3 of Ask Best Practice. I'm loving the questions. That's really helping me make sure that my content and what we're talking about is very specific for you guys. So please do take the opportunity to get on, get some questions ready. If you're not confident asking that question publicly on the internet, you can always email it in or direct message in, and I will say the question is from anonymous. I can do that because I really want to help you guys. So if you need video content from me, parked right here on the YouTube channel or on LinkedIn, that's helping you with your project, helping me to communicate to your team members. If you want my help to get your team members on board, you want me to produce videos that you can send to them, messages, etc., then ask the questions. I'll answer them. You can share the videos. That's what I'm here for. I want to help you guys to be more influential. I want to help you guys to be more efficient with your projects. I want to help you guys to be more confident with your projects. So over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be more content coming out for me to help you do your implementation and help you with your project and help you get faster and faster and more efficient and just get on with it so you can start improving your performance. And we're going to talk about more strategies that you can implement to help you in your organization over the next couple of weeks. So ask me the questions. I'll answer them. If you don't see me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube over the next week, you will definitely see me right here on the YouTube channel, same time tomorrow for Ask Best Practice episode 4, as we're talking about ISO 27001 information security, all things top 10 most common questions on information security and cybersecurity management systems. You will see me right here next time on Best Practice TV. Bye for now. Now I need a cup of tea.